Welcome back everyone to Jface Games. Today we are doing a play test. Playtest 2 after design loop 2. The first thing I'm going to do though, as you can see here, this is the encounter builder on jfacegames.com/encounters. So the first thing I'm going to do is design an encounter. Now I'm going to do this in the back end, but I'm going to hit the encounter builder. We're in the mountains. We've got a layout. We've got some stuff. So now I'm going to time out this thing and we're going to come back and we're going to have an encounter. All right, so here we go. This was the scenario. I'm just going to show it real quick. In essence, this was the layout, and there was a couple little special things for the bad guys, and I kind of went through all the different connections. And what did I make? It took me about, I'd say it took me about 10 minutes. This is what I came up with, right? So I'll walk you through what is going on here. It's the same general layout. I added the different connections. I put some monsters down that fit it. And I put a bunch of notes here that kind of give me an idea of what's going on, right? So we have the starting location, which is a slope, elevated slope down, and it has some cover. So they've already got some natural cover up here, so we could actually add that in too. Why don't we do that, just to give them some natural sort of cover, to give it an idea of that they have a little bit of something here. Right, so that's their natural cover. So they have this natural cover here. There is a hazard trap in here of some sort of illusory hazards, and there's something to swing on. So I'm going to say that what that means is there's this sort of false... the players don't know this, and we'll see how this would go, but we'll say that it looks like there's a false gap here, right? And what that is that it looks like there's a false gap here and there's something to swing across. The players could just walk across if they wanted to, but they don't realize it, and so instead they maybe opt to swing over, which maybe puts them at risk from these bad guys, right? So the scenario was aggressive raid. So it's this group of ranged artillery lurker minions. So here we have these minions that are sitting at the front. This is just an open space. That's just how it was. And the air is thin because they're up on a mountain. Over here is the archers and the high sort of bad guy, the artillery. And then over here is our lurker. He's hiding. This is elevated. So this goes up a mountain goat path. This is a climbing wall to get down here, but this has a lot of good cover. You can see here it's steep slopes inside, but there's a climbing pick in here they can use. There's a solid barrier, so if they got behind this, they could get cover from this. There's also a trap in here they have to watch out for. I added this as a climbing wall, a big time hazard, but they could get from here to here. This is elevated above this. This is elevated above this. What else was fun? The objective is to uncover secrets on the mountains or disable the magical barrier. So I don't know how that fits into this. You know, right now we're just doing an encounter, but those could be the technical win conditions. They don't have to kill all the bad guys. So maybe there's some sort of magical barrier that's up here somewhere, and if they can get over here, let's do that. Let's build a little, like, this little circle here, and if they can get here, they can turn off whatever this is, which is creating the magical barrier, so that's possible. This area over here, it's high altitude as well, so maybe that's causing some, if you have something in your scenario where there's some sort of fatigue, that's an issue. There's mobile cover located in here, so there's something they can pick up, whether it's some sort of rock or shale or something that they can pick up, which could be really nice because there's all ranged up here. So if they can get up here, they can get some sort of mobile cover. And then at that point in time, they're trying to kite these away probably from him. They probably need to kite one at a time if they can get these guys to come down in some shape, way, or form. I don't know. So that is the scenario that we created on the fly with the encounter. So let's go ahead now and we are going to let's review what has changed since last time. We have teamwork now. Well, we changed it. We called it resource. So everyone's going to have a +1 resource that they're generating each round, and then everyone can use that resource to either do +2 damage, or they can do a d6 plus d6 to whatever their action is, meaning that if they're trying to attack and they're using a d20 because they're not getting an auto attack, they can use a +d6. Every class also has a way of building this up themselves, right? Okay, so that's a group resource still. At this point in time, it's a group resource still. What else do we do? Modifications are still the same. Health and dying is still the same. We just had the death timer. we changed some other things, and I think it was all in the action economy. We have saves now, body, mind, and spirit, so that's good to know. And then the action economy, this is where things changed. We changed team tactics versus solo tactics. We have some sort of suppression, which we haven't figured out yet, but that's probably going to come in handy in this one, keeping me from moving or reduce their accuracy. So that'll be important probably in this, because there's so many people that are going to be shooting. We have rally, which gives you a d6 hit points to someone, which is nice. We have taunt, which immediately you make one of these persuasions, you force an enemy to attack you. That's good. That could be really nice if someone can get up here and get this mobile cover. They can be taunting the enemy to attack them, and they've got the mobile cover to help them. Maneuver ally, get someone else to move. Take cover. This is just kind of using partial cover wherever you're at. This is an open space, so it probably won't help. Evade was a skill check. Okay, I think we got the rest of it down. So I'm going to keep this open over here, and I'm also going to write some notes. Let me get my dice, and we'll get going. Okay, so let's do side-based initiative. We're just rolling to see side-based initiative at this point in time as well. Just that's the name of the game. That's how we're doing it. So 20. Oh, we're going to say this is a surprise attack. Even though it was supposed to be an ambush by the enemies, based on the design of what the encounter design said, who cares? Let's make this, this is a surprise round. I don't know what surprise means, because we haven't built that into the game yet. So let's say that a surprise round means that they get to go and they have advantage on whatever they're doing, right? So we'll just say that for the sake of ours, for the sake of this game at the moment, surprise round means that you just take your normal actions, but everything you do has advantage, right? Everything you do against the enemy has advantage. That sounds fair, right? Okay, so let's see who's going to go first. We're going to have the fighter go, and he's going to come down, and let's get an idea of what his abilities are. Perception. Is there a perception? Presence, deceive, inspire, intimidate, scout. We'll just investigate, right? So we'll say he's trying to invest, like I would as a DM maybe say, hey, make an investigation check, right? And so he's got to get an 11 or higher. He gets a 12, and I say, you notice that that is illusory, right? Maybe that doesn't feel as good. Maybe this is a mind save, right? This is a mind save. And so he got a 12, he did not get it. So for him, he did not get it, and so he thinks this is a cliff. So he is going to use his some sort of athletics of some sort, some sort of maybe this would be a survival check, right? I would add in athletics in the future. That's one of those ones I'm going to add in. We'll say he's using a survivor check to try and like use whatever this something to swing across. So there's some vines here, and he's going to use one of these vines, and he is going to go. He gets a 2. So he tries to swing across this vine. He, what we'll say is there's no threat here in terms of dying, but he stumbles and bumbles his way across. And so he ends up over here. That's probably the end of his movement. And I would probably say, because he failed that, that he is not going to have advantage this round when he actually attacks. So he's going to get over here, and he's going to probably get to here, and he's going to attack, but he does not get his advantage this round when he's attacking. What does that mean when you're engaged? Because what we'll say is, we'll say that maybe I'll say that he was unable to engage, right? Because unable to engage means he can't just auto do damage. He's actually got to strike. So he rolls, he gets a natural 20. Well, this is the first time we have crits. He gets a natural 20. His damage is 2d10. So I'm just going to say you add another d10, right? So he does 14. You add a dice with a crit. That sounds fine to me. 19 damage to this poor little skelly. And the skelly has 4 armor, but that's not going to help. So this skeleton is dead. He swings over. He stumbles and bumbles. He somehow manages to get out his 2-handed battle axe and crushity crush takes him out. This guy, the rogue, is going to be... He's going to come here. He sees the perilous sort of scenario that was in here. He's going to try and take a pot shot. He's going to shoot one of these. He's trying to clear a path for this rogue. And so here's the other thing we have to take into account. Let's do it down here. We're doing some number crunching. So we're going to say warrior, rogue, and zealot. Oof. And we now have to take care of our teamwork. Well, no, we just have a teamwork pool, right? That's the idea. So we have teamwork. What did the warrior do? The warrior did not start his turn engaged, but we'll say that... Well, this is the interesting thing. Before we talked about resources, each one of them generating their own resource. No, every round it goes up 1. No, this is fine. So right now we have teamwork 1, right? Because every round it just starts at... It goes up 1 at the beginning of the round. The warrior didn't do anything to add because he didn't start his turn engaged, so that's unfortunate for him. And the rogue has not changed zones yet, so it has not gone up extra for him yet. So, but there is 1 to utilize. So the rogue is now going to go, and the rogue is going to shoot at one of these. Now, because it is unengaged with an enemy, it's an auto hit, right? So he's going to hit for 2d6. Oh, nope, ranged. I have 2d4 for his ranged, because we don't want range to be crazy uber. He does 6 damage. This thing has armor of 4, so he does 2 damage to it, and so it's going to be at 3 now, right? 3 damage, or 3 health. All right, so that's 1 action. His tactical action. What is he going to do for tactics? We'll say his tactical action is going to be to take cover. So that means he is now taking cover at this point in time, which is good. What was the warrior's tactical action going to be? We'll say that he has not used his yet. He's going to keep it for now. He doesn't think there's anything yet he needs to do. All right, the cleric now at this point in time is going to the zealot. I apologize. The zealot is going to come down, and he gets +1 resource for using a team tactic. So he's going to come down here as well, and he's kind of taking cover. And he is... What team tactic is there? He could try and do some sort of magical suppression. Keep an enemy from moving or reduce their accuracy. All right, we'll say that he's going to try and suppress... How does this work? How does suppression work for multiple targets? Let's say that now you just can suppress 1 target with this tactical ability. And we'll make it a reaction. So what we'll do... That's the question. Is suppression something you do as a reaction? Oh, I didn't start the timer. Let's go ahead and I'll set this to 18. I'll start it now. Is suppression something you do as a reaction, or is suppression something you do preemptively? I would say it's preemptively. You are trying to suppress them automatically. So maybe it's you suppress an area, right? So maybe he is suppressing this front area, and if they get out of that area, they can do something. No, I think you suppress the target. That's less brain power. So he's going to suppress this guy. And so what would suppression be? What would your ability be to try to suppress someone? Would it be to shoot, maybe, because you're shooting? Would it be to... I would say that it's probably shoot, which is not the best. Because suppression, in essence, is you are firing upon them, trying to make it so that they are... it's hard to deal with you. What's that, baby? Well, I'm recording a video. Where's Mama? Can you go get Mama so I can finish this video I'm recording? No. I'll go with you. We'll get Mom. Where'd she go? I think she's up here. I hear someone up here. Mama. Yeah. All right, so we'll say that he's going to try and suppress one target. We'll see how it feels. If it doesn't feel good, we'll add. I'm thinking that you suppress one target with this ability, and if you have other abilities later on, you could suppress more than one. That's my initial thought, but we'll see how it goes. So he's going to try and do a shoot action. He's successful, so he's going to be suppressing this guy. We'll add a little red circle around them to say that they are suppressed. So that was his tactical action. He can still use a actual attack, because you always get an attack. And so maybe he's going to attack, we'll say he attacks one of the other ranged ones, right? At this point in time, they don't have any cover. There is mobile cover up there, but they're probably not using it. They have altitude advantage. They're higher up. Does that mean anything? We'll say that that means that you have... So even though they're not engaged, that would be an auto hit technically. We'll say because of altitude, you have to actually roll your successful attack. So he rolls and he gets a 13. That's his ability, so he's rolling well. And he gets 7 damage. We'll say we don't have a stat block for them. Let's do this real quick. We will say that... Oops. We're going to say they don't have as much armor. We'll say they have 2 armor. And we'll say that these are skeletal archers. And they do 2d4. And they do... We don't know what their ability is. Let's see. What do they have? Bonus with criteria. We'll say that +1 damage with each successive hit, right? So in essence, if they can pile up on you, that's a problem, okay? And hit points wise, we'll say they have, I don't know, they're probably a little bit more hit points than this. We'll just keep it the same. So if that's the case, though, he does 7 damage. That would kill one, right? Is that good? We'll make these guys a little beefier, because I want them to last a little bit more. These guys are a little bit beefier. So he ends up doing 5 damage to it. So it's at half health, so it has 5 left. Okay, perfect. What happens next? So that's their turns. He's used tactical. He has not used tactical. He has not used tactical at this point in time. Is there any other tacticals they would do? I don't think so. I think that they've done what they need. No, he used take cover. So he's taking cover. So I think that what that means is if you have cover and then you also take cover, it gives you a bonus, right? So this means that they'd have to make a skill check to hit him. They would have to make a disadvantage skill check to hit him. Okay? That's in essence in my brain what that means. Because if someone is engaged or has cover, you have to actually make your skill check to hit them as opposed to auto doing damage. And if they have taken cover in addition to having cover, meaning they're bracing themselves, then it's disadvantage for you to actually get them. All right, so now the bad guys go. What do they do? Well, we're going to have run up and run up, because these are the people they see. Boom, getting around them, and this one's coming over probably here. He's going to now brace for his action, or his tactical action. Tactical action, brace, no skill check. If you haven't spent your action, you can use this to double your armor. So he's bracing to get his armor doubled, because these guys are coming in, and they're going to try and smash him. Now, he's got 8 armor, which is because he's bracing, because he's got heavy armor and he's braced. He's got to deal with 3 attacks. Each one gets +3 damage, because there's 3 of them. +1, it would be technically we'll do +3 damage. So the first one does 8, so that's 0. Second one does 10, so that's 3. Ooh, Warriors, it's getting them. Third one does 8, 9, 10, 11. 3 more. So the second one did 10, and that did... Okay, so we'll say it's 5 total. So it's 15. Brutal. Okay. Now the ranged guys. These guys are probably going to attack here. They're going to try and attack there. This one's suppressed, so his ability to attack is hampered. I don't know what that means. It reduces accuracy. So these two, they're attacking... We'll see who they attack. We'll do high or low. High, the rogue. We'll go one at a time. This guy's attacking the cleric, and he's got to get his skill check. We'll say... Ooh, sorry about that. Mouse wheel. We'll say that his skill check is going to be We'll make it the same as the Necromancer. No, Necromancer's probably better. So we'll say 13. They're not the best. He's got to get 13 or higher. He gets a 17, so it's a hit. Cleric is getting hit for 7. The 7 armor, or 7, and the Cleric has armor of 3, so 4 damage. Ooh, it's getting hefty already. The next target is going to be after the Cleric again. So this one's attacking the Cleric, but he's got disadvantage because he's suppressed. We'll just say that. And so he gets a miss. And the third one is attacking the Cleric again. Not disadvantaged, but that's a miss. It's an 11. Okay, so the Cleric takes 3. They're firing. We'll say that this guy, the artillery, is now moving. It's moving up, right? Moving up to do something terrible. Or maybe they're doing something dastardly over here. We have a timer. Let's set a timer. All right. So 2 rounds, something's going to happen. Why? Because if I could bring him up and actually do damage, that's one thing. But I figure we'll set a timer here and make it more interesting for the players. Now they're like, what's that timer do? I don't know. You're going to find out in a second. All right. So now it's the play. Oh, no. Now we're going to do, if we're doing the initiative every round, let's see who goes. The players do not go. So this is a problem, right? We're going to do the same thing. He's bracing here. Is this exciting? I don't know. He's bracing again. He blocks it all. He takes 3. He takes another. So he's taking 8 damage total from this. Oof. Man. Warrior's at 7 already. That's not good for him. This guy is going to... He's undead. He doesn't see this problem here. He just runs right through this. Runs through it. Maybe clears it up for them. They're like, hey, you can run through this thing. All right, so this guy is going to attack the rogue. And he does... Is the rogue going to try and invade for his tactical action? Let's take a look. What else could he do tactical action-wise? I think he's going to... I think he's just going to take this and deal... Well, you know what? He's going to counter. Attack an enemy who has attacked you. He's going to counter. So that gives him an extra action right now, in essence, right? So he's going to do 5 damage. So the rogue's taking 3. And the rogue is going to say, you know what, I'm going to counter now because we need to move this along and deal with these guys. And he's engaged, so it's an auto hit. So he's going to do his 2d8. And he's going to do, was it 9? 9 is the exact number. Boom, kills that guy. Perfect. Rogue takes it, stabs with his rapier. These guys are shooting. Who's attacking who? Is the rogue still... I'm going to say the rogue's no longer taking cover, meaning that's his tactical action. So now it would be just normal attack to try and hit him. We'll say the first one, we'll go through these. First one's attacking the rogue and misses. Second one's attacking the rogue and misses. Third one's attacking the rogue and misses. They all miss. So 13, now granted, even if they had 11 skill, they rolled bad, 7s and 9s. All right, so the rogue is happy about that. He's still doing something. Ooh, it's terrible. All right, so now what's going to happen? The warrior's going to say, let me go first. I got to deal with these guys. So it would be nice if he had some sort of cleave ability, but he doesn't. Oh, start of a new round. We have 2, and we have 3, because we have the rogue, the warrior's starting engaged. +1 resource for using a team tactic. Yes, the cleric would have gotten 1 for doing the team tactic. The rogue has not gotten 1 for moving yet. So we have 4 teamwork points to use in some shape, way, or form. Okay? So now we have interesting things that can happen. Let's see what happens. We have the warrior is going to... Is there some sort of multi-attack? There's no multi-attack currently. There's no way for him to say, I want to attack twice. It would be really nice if he could. So... Maybe what you can do is if you're engaged and you're a warrior, right? Maybe this is a warrior thing. Let's put it here. No, multi-attack right here. Can spend 2 resources to do 1d6 plus future modifier damage to every enemy engaged. Okay. So he's just going to spend 2 teamwork points. Is this a passive ability? It's a good question. He's going to spend 2 teamwork points to do a d6 damage to everybody around him, right? And maybe what he can do... this doesn't take up his attack, and this doesn't take up his tactical action, which is interesting. So I don't know what this technically means. What would feel good here? And is 1d6 enough? 1d6 seems pretty low because of the way armor works in this. And you'd like to be able to slam and crush multiple targets, right? So let's say that it does 2d6. That might be really high, but let's just see how it feels, right? You spend 2 teamwork. Let's say it's 3 teamwork, right? That makes it a lot, but hey, let's see what happens. So he's going to do 2d6 to everything around him, and I'll do it separately. I'll do separate attacks for now, just because. All right, so he does 7 to one, 8 to one, 8 to another, right? So that would mean 8 to this one, he's dead, because he needs 7 to be dead. 8 to this one, and they have armor 4, so he takes 3 damage. So now he's at 2 health. And then 7 to the first one, so he's at 4, 7, 3 damage. He's at 2 health, right? And this one's 8, so he should be at 1 health. Whoops. Okay. And then, so that's the warrior taking... That doesn't count. I mean, that technically doesn't count as a tactical action. It's like a passive ability. Or does that count as his attack? I almost feel like that should count as attack, right? So we'll say that's his attack. And then he does have a tactical action he can still take, and he's going to wait on that. So we'll say that was his attack to do that, because that was a lot. All right. It's time to start doing something here. So the rogue is now going to use his action to... Where should he go? He can see the lay of the land. He can see this here. He can see this area over here. He knows that this is where he needs to get to. There's cover down here. He doesn't know this guy's here. So we'll say maybe the rogue thinks it's best... Maybe this has cover too. Maybe that's the thing, is that we can say that the reason someone would want to go here is that it's full cover, right? Heavy cover, right? Or if you're on this path, you've got good cover. So that gives him incentive, right? So do I charge up here and deal with this? No, rogue's not going to do that. So what the rogue's going to do is the rogue is probably going to do something like a dash, a hurry, double movement, can use scout, go over and under stuff. So let's say the rogue does some sort of scout action. And so easily, 8, it does not easily do it, but makes it with an 8. He's going to go double movement, going to get to here, start climbing down this, because he runs straight through this. He knows it's an illusion, climbs down this, and he's now on his way climbing down this, right? Okay, perfect. The cleric is going to... What's the cleric going to do? The cleric is going to come over here, move into this position, and he's going to use rally to heal an ally. Or, what's the cleric's heal that they have? The cleric can do a heal. What's the rogue's ability? We got to look at what that is. Spend 2 resources to use another evade this round. That would be nice. He did move zones, so the rogue moved technically 2 zones. So we'll bump that up to 3. He's going to spend 2 of these to do a heal. And does that count as his tact? That'll be his tactical action. So he's going to do 2 to heal the warrior for 7. That's nice. So the warrior's back up to 14. And then we're going to have him take a shot at this guy, right? So he's going to do 2d4. He's going to do 4. And they have 2 armor. So he takes 2 more damage. Maybe they're a little too much. Maybe we'll say they have 7 hit points. Right? He just had a really good shot the first one. So we'll say 7 hit points. Alright, so now that would be the end of their turn. It's now the next round. The bad guys are going to go first. We'll say this goes down to... This timer goes to 1. I can't seem to edit that, so we're just going to... There we go. I'll take that to 1. Something's going to happen. We don't know. And now the bad guys are going to go. These guys are going to attack the warrior. The warrior's going to use his action to brace, just because he needs to in this situation. So that's his tactical action, and he is able to take 3 plus 2 is 8, so nothing for that first one. 9 plus 2 is 11, so he ends up taking 3 for that second one. He's doing what he's supposed to do, which is tank it up. This is the start of a new round, so they get 1 at the beginning of the round. Beginning of the round, not beginning of their turn, right? And until his turn starts, they don't get the extra 1 for his turn. Okay. So, now these guys are going to shoot. I'm going to say that they can shoot at... we'll do a d6. Are they going to shoot at the rogue? The rogue jumps over there. They know that there's someone over there who's going to take out the rogue. So they're probably like, you know what? Let's let him think he's safe. So they're going to shoot. The cleric's the healer. I mean, when it comes, you know, we talk about gameplay, you shoot the healer. So they have to shoot. He's not taking cover, so he doesn't get the extra disadvantage. 1 miss, a hit, and a hit. 2 hits. Oof, this could be bad. So it's 2d4. Oh, snake eyes. That did nothing. And then 2d4, which is another 2 damage. Okay. So he's at 10. He's taking something. This guy's still working on something. We don't know what's going to happen. Now, beginning of the player's turn. We have 1 for the warrior. And the warrior's got his 3 abilities, so he's going to say, hey guys, I'm just going to burn this. Are you guys good with that? And they say, yeah, go for it. So that's a smart move. So he's going to burn that. So even though he's not doing 2d10 damage, he's doing 2d8 to 2 targets. I'm dropping it. First target takes 8. I think that's going to kill him. Yep. Second target takes 6. Also kills him. Boom. All right, warrior. Good job. And then he's going to run. I'm going to start going up this goat path. Cover me. And so the cleric says, hell yeah, I'm going to cover you. So he's going to do... this guy's no longer suppressioned. He hasn't been suppressioned for a while. But the cleric is going to try and do suppression, right? So then here's a question. You get your auto attack. Can you substitute your auto attack for a second tactical action? Can you substitute auto attack, tactical action for your auto attack? I feel like no, right? Because I feel like that's against the concept of doing this. Oh, our timer ran out. Oh, no. So this took more than 20 minutes, but that's okay. We're going to start this again. We'll see how much it ends up taking total. So we're going to say no. I'm going to say that he has to attack someone, and that's fine, right? This guy's almost dead, so he's going to attack this guy. He's doing his 2d4. He ends up killing him. That's good. And then he's going to try to suppress this guy, and he's got to get above his shoot, which is, he gets at 18, so this guy's suppressed again. Are these guys doing dynamic stuff right now? No, but that's okay. We'll figure it out later. All right. So he's done his turn. He's done his. The rogue has not done his turn yet. He's going to come over here and try and get cover. And so in essence, he's trying to take cover, and then his next turn... well, you know what? He probably sees, you know what? I think that they're going to fire at this. So he's going to come down here, and he's going to try and start making his way across this path to deal with whatever's going to happen. The problem being that this is going to happen. So can he see him? We'll say yes, but it's disadvantaged because this is very high up and this is very low. So he's going to try and take a shot. Why not? Disadvantaged shot. That's a miss. He shoots some sort of crossbow. And then he's going to start going on this path in just a second. Now, there is a distraction trap in here. So let's have... Maybe the distraction trap goes off. What do we have trap-wise? Do I want to use this? I don't need to use it right now because I have this timer going. So maybe this timer is going to be... Me as a DM, I'm going to say this timer is going to deal with all these traps in these different zones. That sounds good. All right, let's see who goes first. High or low? It's low, so the enemy is going again. He suppressed someone, so by suppressing someone, they got an extra little pointy point. It's the beginning of the next round, so that's 3 now they're up to again. And the enemies are going to go. These guys are going to try and shoot the warrior. One of them is suppressed, so he actually has to make an actual attack. This one's going to automatically hit because the warrior's not engaged. So he's going to hit for 3. It doesn't do any damage. The other guy is going to have to attack to try because he's getting suppressed. And he gets 17, so he actually hits it. And he does 5. That does 1 damage. So the warrior is now at 12. All right, so now what's going to happen? Now, that's them. This guy's coming over. We'll say we'll say he's fast, right? We'll say he's super fast. He would have probably moved last turn, getting ready or something. What is this guy's ability? This guy's ability, oh, successive damage, +1. So this guy hit, and then this guy hit. So it's an extra +1 damage. So we will say that his, he does an extra 1 here. Right? They do successive damage. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that would stick with that, but I kind of like it, right? All right, so now what's going to happen? This guy's going to attack here. He comes up behind him. He's engaged. We'll say he does 2d8 because he's a badass. And all of a sudden, the rogue is fighting for his life. An 11. The rogue, we'll say the rogue has to make a scout check to know that if he even can evade. He rolls a 14. So, we'll say that he was actually able to see it, right? Or maybe that would be one of these checks. Oh, I'm on the wrong one. Scout check, yeah. Maybe it would have been a mind check or something where you could see it, but I think scout check. So I make a scout check. You see it coming? All right, you can try and evade. So he's going to try and evade. He's got to get 11 or higher to evade. He gets an 18, so he evades this. Thank God. That would have been brutal damage. They have not used their tactical actions yet this round. That's fine. He could have used evasion, but he didn't. And he could have done something, but he didn't. All right, so now it's the player's turns. Does he fight? This timer's going to go. He's going to go. He's going to move. He moves to here. He's going to try and throw something at this bad guy. I'm going to say that it's not disadvantaged now because he's up higher, but you still have to roll to hit, right? He gets an 11. What's his shoot? What's his shoot? An 8. Okay. 2d4. Not much damage. He does a 4, and this guy has 2 damage. Is that enough to distract him? Right? Is that some sort of distraction that would make this timer slow down? I would say, you know what? Let's find out. I'm going to roll hot. He got a 20. Okay, so I'm going to say this timer is still at 1. The rogue has come up and distracted him, stopped him from doing whatever sort of like ritual he's doing. That's exciting. All right, so the warrior is now going to come up here. He's going to come up this goat path. He is going to... I'm going to say that I would describe to him that there is mobile cover here. He's going to grab that mobile cover, pick it up, heft it up on his shoulder, and he's going to do whatever the dash is, right? So he's going to move his way over here, and he gets to here. So now he's charging, and this guy's got to make a decision. The cleric is going to say, what's the cleric going to do? You know what? I'm going to shoot this guy, and we're going to try and knock this dude out, right? I'm going to try and help you out. So he's going to attack here. He automatically hits. He does 6 damage. I could have attacked either one, but we're saying to him. 6 damage means that he is hitting for... he's hitting for 5. And we'll do +2 damage by burning one of these to kill him. So we burn a teamwork point, and we kill that dude. This guy's no longer suppressed. But we'll say that the cleric's going to try and suppress him. Might as well, right? He does not. And the cleric's going to start moving. I'm coming, buddy. He starts running out here. All right. That's the end of the round. Next round. Bad guys go. Timer starts. Is he in a new zone? Sure. We'll say he's in a new zone. I would call that a new zone. He's on a cliff. All right. Who's going to go? Now it's this guy's. He gets to finally go. He's going to shoot at... He's probably going to turn and shoot at the warrior. But the warrior has cover. So that means he has to actually make a successful attack. He gets 6. He misses. And he's going to move and probably come over here or something like that. This guy's going to chase after the rogue, and he's going to attack him again. Like, they're on the edge of this cliff. This could be a problem, right? So he could attack, or maybe he tries to shove the rogue off. So let's see. He's going to try and shove the rogue off. I don't know how far it is. I don't know if this would kill the character. He gets a 14. I don't know what that means. Let's say the rogue has to make a body check. A body save. So the rogue gets a 17. All right, we'll say the rogue has been shoved and is hanging on the side, but he has saved himself. So he's hanging there. right? I don't know what that means yet. We're going to find out. The necromancer is going to use his necromantic death touch. He's going to say, screw you. He's going to come up, death touch, 2d12, in your face. He's like, wait a minute, what's happening? I don't know this was happening. He has a shield. He has mobile cover right now. He's this big slate. Should it have to be an attack and actually a successful hit? Let's say this. Let's say that is a successful hit. The warrior has to make a save. We'll say this is a body save because it's some sort of necromantic spirit save. He's trying to suck away your life. The warrior gets a 15, so the warrior saves. So I would say it's half damage. So he's going to take 7. Armor does not help. So 7 damage seems like a lot. But hey, that's the way the cookie crumbles, right? But now it's the player's turn. All right, so what do the players do? He's going to say, you healer, go first. So the healer runs up to here, roughly. He is going to use a spin 2 to heal. I'm going to guess it's ranged. Spin 2 to heal. We could decide that that's close range, right? Heals him for 5. So at least he's at 9, but I don't know if that's going to help him in the near future. And then tactical action-wise, he is going to... You know what? Let's do something... he did a suppression last time. So he technically could have... You know what? He's going to do a maneuver. He's going to use a maneuver ally to help the rogue. He sees the perilous situation he's in. He's going to use his maneuver ability, which is an 8 or higher. He got a 9. And the rogue is allowed to move. So he climbs up and runs. So now on the rest of his turn, that gives us a teamwork because he used a teamwork ability. Teamwork action. Because that's what he does. Okay, now the rogue and the warrior can go. Let's say the warrior probably drops his shield to use his two-handed weapon. So the warrior drops his shield, uses his two-handed weapon. He could have probably braced. Well, no, wouldn't have mattered. Maybe he could have evaded. He tried to evade that damage. So we'll keep that in mind for next time. He does 9 with his 2d10. So that would be 7 damage. And then for his ability, he's going to... You know what? He's going to burn some more damage. Look, he gets to start... We get 4 because he starts engaged. Let's burn 2 of these puppies and do an extra 4 damage. Boomity boom. Hey, you know what? What would players do? Players would just burn all 4. Do an extra 8 damage. That's a lot of damage. I mean, but that's what you do, I guess, when you're a big tank. You get in there and you smash someone. So he's only at 3 health. The rogue's going to come over here and try and stop whatever this is. Maybe that timer's still going. So he's going to come over here, and I'm going to say you have to make a... survive, discover, investigate, scout. What would this be? Be some sort of exploration type thing. Maybe it's an investigate check. So it'd be an 11 or higher because you're trying to figure out how to stop it. 11 or higher. A 5. Not good. Okay. Then he still has a tactical. He has a tactical, right? Because I did not use the warrior's tactical action. He did not use any of those. Okay. So that's it for the turn. Let's see who goes first. It's a 20. Heroes go first. This goes off. Whatever that does. Let's figure out what that does. We have a trap that snares. We have a distraction trap. So all of a sudden, something over here happens. Big light, big booming sort of thing. This is probably more of I don't know what this is going to be. But it would be it's a necromancer. Maybe it spawns a ton of minions. Lots of stuff's going to happen simultaneously. So we're going to have minions spawning. The undead have arrived. Boom, boom, they appear in all corners. So he's summoned all these undead. A big blinding light comes over here, and then also there's snare traps. So I guess there's some sort of also there's grasping hands reaching up and grabbing at people. Okay, so there's a lot going on. So what happens? We'll say that the heroes, they get to go, but there's a lot going on. So there's a blinding light coming from this direction. So he's going to have to actually make a successful attack. There's grasping hands grabbing at them, and there's now bad guys. All right, that sounds good. He's going to try and attack. Let's see if he can hit this bad guy. So what he's going to do, do they have any points? Not yet, but he starts with 1 because he's engaged, and you get 1 for the beginning of the round. So there's 2. So he's going to say, guys, I'm going to burn 1 to get an extra +1 on this attack roll because we can't miss, right? So he gets to roll a d20 plus a d6, and he's trying to get an 8 or higher. And he gets a 19 total. So he hits. This necromancer is dead as disco. 19 damage. Oh, God. He's dead. Boom. We'll say he's dead. He's completely dead. I'm going to zoom in here now so that you guys can just see this fight, because might as well. That's 19 damage. And so now there's a question of, like, cleanup, right? So he kills that. He can't move because he's snared. Maybe he can do a body check, or no, we'll just say he's snared. He's going to, we'll say that the rogue now is going to try and do an investigate check. We'll say that he succeeds, and they disarm this. So I'd probably set this, I want to kind of wrap this up, but I'd probably set this in stages now where it's like, I would probably come up with an idea for how you disable this, and they have to figure it out. It's not just a roll. I describe it, and if they're able to disable this, that is the end of the scenario. Otherwise, they're still fighting. So these two would probably be fighting for their lives, while this one's trying to figure out how to disable this. This guy's coming over. So that is the end of the encounter. I think that down here I'll put notes. Let's do some notes real quick. Teamwork is a lot for me as a DM, GM to track. Now the question would be how much of the players tracking it. I would say what else didn't feel so great. Some of the saves felt odd. Cover felt okay. Movement is not specific. Kind of flying around. Okay. Did I feel like any particular tactical actions were not used, or healing is really good. Healing was really high. Big Bad went down super quick. Maybe that's not a problem. That's probably an encounter design scenario where he probably needed some bodyguards up here. He was kind of not doing anything during the fight. Anything else from gameplay wise? I liked Cleave. Do abilities take the place of the tactical action or the attack? I think taking a place of the attack is nice. Maybe they just say, maybe ability specific will say which it replaces, right? Anything else? +2 damage was a lot. Is +2 damage too much? Was +2 damage too much? Added +8 against Necro. That was a lot of damage. Anything else? Can you substitute? This is the other question, right? Mainly this came up because the question was Zealot wanted to suppress multiple targets. I think that means you need to take a feature, right? I think it means you have to take a feature. I think it still takes just your tactical action. But if you want to get that better, you don't get to do 2 of them. You have to, maybe you can do 2 of them, and then a feature just lets you better with just the one. Yeah, that's a good question. Never used the evasion. Yeah. Rogue never used their extra evasion ability. Did the rogue feel like a rogue? I don't know. I think the warrior felt like a warrior. mainly because they braced and did cleave. That felt good. Zealot felt like a zealot, mainly because they healed, suppressed, but still attacked, which felt good. And they actually maneuvered too. I don't feel like the rogue felt like a rogue. This is the big question, right? The rogue did not feel like a rogue. So that'll be something to consider. All right, that's it for this video. It got a little long. Do some comments, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, hit me up. All right, see you guys.